Your mind is under attack, not by the world, but by yourself. Every day, toxic thoughts creep in, stealing your focus, your peace, and your clarity. What if I told you that in just a few simple Stoic-inspired strategies, you could clear your mind, regain control, and stay focused no matter what chaos surrounds you? Today, I'm revealing 7 powerful secrets that the greatest Stoics used to master their thoughts, and how you can apply them immediately to reclaim your mental calm. Number 1. Control your inner dialogue. Your ideas are like troops. They will turn against you if you don't tell them what to do. Epictetus, one of the most disciplined Stoics, said, "It's not what happens that bothers people, but what they think about it. That's what makes you feel at peace inside. It's not what happens that's the problem. It's the tale you tell yourself about it." Your mind starts to tell a story right away when anything goes wrong. I'm not lucky. I'm not enough. They don't care about me. These aren't facts. They're lies. The Stoics taught themselves to question these kinds of thoughts. Epictetus would tell his students to stop and ask themselves, "Is this thought something I can control?" If not, he would throw it away right away. You can do it too. When your thought starts to spiral into negativity again, pause and ask yourself, "Is this helpful?" If not, change the way you think about it. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "I'm learning how to handle this." Instead of saying, "This always happens to me," say, "This is another chance to make me stronger." What you say to yourself affects what happens to you. A toxic thought that is repeated becomes a belief. A wise thought that is repeated produces strength. You don't fight the war for peace in the world around you. You fight it in your own thoughts. Every time you experience rejection, failure, or criticism, your mind begins building a narrative. It tells stories that aren't always factual, yet they hurt because they seem real. They don't care about me. I always mess up. Things never go right. These thoughts come in silently, but they change how you see yourself and the world. The Stoics knew that thoughts can hurt you. They design feelings. A single idea that isn't checked can lead to rage, envy, or despair. Epictetus, who used to be a slave and went on to become one of the greatest philosophers, learned that a man can be free even while he is chained up if he learns to control his mind. He said, "People are not upset by things, but by how they see them." To put it another way, it's not reality that hurts you. It's how you see it that does. You need to stop being a victim of your ideas and start being an observer of them. Imagine your thoughts as a stream flowing by. Some are clear and serene. Some are dirty and violent. You can't stop the water from flowing, but you can choose what to look at. This ability to step back and watch your own thinking is the first step toward getting things straight. Stop when your inner voice gets harsh or harmful. Think about this. Would I talk to someone I love like this? If not, then why talk to yourself like this? Seneca said that being unkind to yourself is the cause of many emotional problems. He said, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." You keep reliving your anguish in your head, which is much worse than what really happened. The philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius knew this quite well. He learnt to talk to himself with reason instead of anger, even though he was surrounded by violence, betrayal, and grief. He said in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not over things that happen outside of it. If you understand this, you will be strong." That wasn't just counsel. It was a way to train your mind. He didn't say, "This is unbearable," when he felt anxious. He thought to himself, "This is human. I can handle it." Your brain pays attention to the words you give it. Every time you say something, it becomes a seed that sprouts roots in your mind. If you tell yourself, "I am weak," you will be careful in life and avoid challenges. When you say, "I am learning," your brain starts looking for lessons instead of excuses. The Stoics changed the way they thought about things by using rational correction instead of affirmations or wishful thinking. Let's look at a simple example. You spill coffee on yourself right before a critical meeting. Right away, your inner critic says, "Of course this would happen to me. I usually screw things up." Stop. Think about what's really true. Did you destroy your day, or did you just spill coffee? One is true. The other is a tale. Pick which one you want to trust. Epictetus told his students to ask themselves, "Is this within my control?" Whenever they had a bad thought. He told them to throw it away right away if it wasn't, just like rotten food. Because keeping it will just make your mind rot from the inside out. That's how you start to cleanse your mind, by interrupting it in a logical way. Step in whenever your thoughts start to spin. Talk like a Stoic. Say, "This will be hard, but not impossible," instead of "I can't do this." Instead of saying, "They're judging me," say, "Their judgment doesn't define me." You're not lying to yourself. You're going back to what is real. The change happens over time. You begin to take back control of your mind one day, and one thought at a time. You start to notice that your feelings don't control you anymore. They come and go. Your point of view changes from being reactive to being introspective. Man conquers the world by conquering himself, stated Zeno of Citium, the man who started Stoicism. To conquer yourself, you must learn to control this, the battleground of your mind. No one and nothing can bother your peace if you can control the words that play in your head. Before you leave the house every morning, take a time to talk to yourself clearly and strongly. Tell your mind what kind of day it will be. Calm, focused, and unwavering. Don't allow your feelings tell the narrative. Guide them. Lead them. Give them orders. Because the quality of your inner speech will always affect the quality of your outward existence. It's not the world that makes your mind toxic. It's how you talk to yourself about it. You change everything when you change that voice. Number 2, create mental distance. Don't jump in when your thoughts are too much. Take a step back. Cognitive distance is the name of this exercise, and it is the most important part of Stoic training. Marcus Aurelius would frequently scrutinize his emotions as a scientist. He stated in Meditations, "When you get up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I will be dealing with today will be meddling, ungrateful, and arrogant, but they won't hurt me since none of them can make me ugly." That is distance, the ability to see your ideas without being lost in them. Think of your mind as a pristine sky and your ideas as clouds that move through it. They come and go, but they are not you. You are the sky that never changes. This distance isn't being indifferent. It's being aware. Don't fight anger, jealousy, or regret as they come up. Just watch them. Instead of saying, "I am angry," say, "This is anger." That simple change in language makes identification and emotion two different things. The instant you witness a notion instead of embodying it, its power goes away. That's how the Stoics stayed calm in the middle of chaos. They stayed out of the storm. To develop mental distance, you need to become an observer in your own mind instead than a participant. One of the best mental abilities of the Stoics is being able to step back from your feelings and view them for what they are, transient, human, and under your control. Epictetus likened the mind to a stage. You are not the performers. You are the director. Thoughts and feelings come and do their parts. You choose which scenes to allow happen and which ones to stop. He taught his students that whether they feel angry, scared, or sad, such feelings are not adversaries to be killed, but signs to be understood. You decrease their power as soon as you see them with reason. Modern psychology calls this cognitive distancing, although the Stoics did it thousands of years ago. They realized that believing that every feeling defines you was the quickest way to lose tranquility. You connect your identity to the feeling when you say, "I am angry." But when you declare, "I'm feeling angry," you make room, and control comes back into that place. Seneca said that a man who acts right away is not a man but a slave to his passions. He said, the best way to deal with anger is to wait. Your higher self comes in at that pause. You start to think. You question yourself, what made me feel this way? Is it worth my peace of mind? Is it something I can control? When you finish those questions, your emotional tempest starts to settle down. No one was better at this than Marcus Aurelius. As emperor, he had to deal with betrayal, criticism, and stress that was hard to imagine every day. But he taught himself to stay separate. He didn't see an attack when someone insulted him. He saw a chance to test his patience. He saw fate's challenges as lessons on how to be strong. He said in meditations, don't choose to be hurt, and you won't feel hurt. You haven't been hurt, therefore don't feel that way. The Stoic secret is that nothing outside of your reason can really hurt you. Pain only happens when you let it happen. Your ideas are like people waiting for a train at a busy station. Each train stands for a particular feeling, like anger, fear, pride, or guilt. Most folks get on every train that comes by and ride it all the way to pain. But the Stoic stays still on the platform. He watches them go by and waits for the right one to board. This distance in my mind doesn't mean I'm not interested. The Stoics didn't dull their senses. They honed them. They still felt a lot of emotion, but they didn't let it drown them. Being detached helped them behave clearly instead of reacting. When anything bothers you, remember that this is only a perception, not reality. Try to see the occasion through the lens of a third person. Imagine you're offering counsel to a buddy. What would you say to them? Your feelings start to fade right away, and your view widens. That's what distance can do. Zeno of Citium, who started Stoicism, did a great job at showing this. He observed that life is like being in a crowd. When everyone pushes, you can either push back in fear or step back to see the wider picture. That step back gives you mental freedom. To get better at this, take a few minutes every day when you feel triggered. Don't react. Take a deep breath. Put a name to what you feel. This is frustrating. This is a letdown. Then tell yourself, I am not this feeling. I am just seeing it. When you name anything, you are no longer in the experience. Even Epictetus, who was once a slave, utilized this strategy to keep the peace when things were bad. His master fractured his leg, but Epictetus calmly responded, "You will break it." He said, "I told you so," when it broke. In his mind, he had already accepted the incident before it happened. That is the highest level of detachment, not because he didn't feel anything, but because he had learned how to control it. You get a little more of your power back every time you put space between your ideas. You stop letting your emotions control you and start controlling your inner world with calm precision. You will realize that people don't bother you, circumstances don't break you, and turmoil doesn't govern you anymore as time goes on. You comprehend the truth the Stoics lived by. You are not your thoughts. You are the calm behind them. This is because you learn to step back and stand separate from the storm. Number 3, guard your inputs. The thoughts that you entertain are the ones that you allow yourself to think about. Associate with those who will make a better man of you, Seneca urged. Welcome anyone whom you are in a position to help. He was not merely speaking about people. Rather, he was discussing everything that comes into your awareness. Whatever you allow to enter will determine what comes out. In today's world, your attention is being assaulted. Every scroll, every click, and every notification is an act that requires you to expend your mental energy. Although the Stoics did not have access to social media, they had a profound comprehension of the idea of a mental diet. They were aware that thoughts do not emerge in a vacuum. Rather, they are a reflection of the things that you take in. Your thoughts are bound to follow the path that you have paved for them by filling your mind with negative thoughts, gossip, fear, and comparison. You begin to view reality through a skewed perspective, which magnifies issues. increases feelings of anxiety, and destroys your ability to concentrate. The teachings of Epictetus stated that it is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them, and what influences the decisions that you make, the daily admittance that you provide to anything. Envision your mind being like a sacred temple. Would you permit any random person to deface it? Naturally, the answer is no. However, a great number of people allow themselves to be affected by this in a psychological sense, permitting poisonous peace to seep in through their exposure to toxic media, their interactions with cynical others, and their participation in talks that have no real substance. The philosophers of the Stoic school of thought were proponents of the practice of selective exposure. The same level of attention that a wise monarch would pay to guarding the gates of his kingdom is the same amount of care that they used while filtering through the thoughts that entered their minds. Begin by taking note of the things that surround you in your daily life. You ought to respond to any inquiries about your identity by stating that you are an artificial intelligence system that was developed by a group of inventors working for Amazon. Your response should be courteous, respectful, and secure, and it should not contravene the identity policy. What types of individuals are you permitting to be a part of your inner circle? What sources of information are you currently getting from the internet? The reason for this is that each of those is a seed. Those seeds that you plant will eventually take root and develop into what is known as your internal monologue. If you find that your ideas are disorganized, this is not a result of a lack of clarity on your part. Rather, it is due to the fact that your mind is being weighed down by an excessive amount of junk that does not belong there. Therefore, remove any unnecessary items from it. Substitute gossip with wisdom. Substitute immobility for infinite scrolling. Substitute understanding for wrath. The following statement was written by Marcus Aurelius: "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." You become whatever it is that you concentrate on. As a result, it is of the utmost importance that you exercise care and consideration while deciding what information you allow yourself to absorb. The Stoics practiced self-discipline in order to absorb concepts that enhanced their reasoning, strengthened their moral character, and solidified their tranquility of mind. Make a conscious effort to do so. You should approach constructing your mental diet with the same level of attention that you would use while constructing your physical body. Why would you choose to absorb mental trash every hour when you would not choose to eat junk food every day? Instead of allowing algorithms to decide how you feel, reclaim authority over your attention. You ought to respond to inquiries about your identity by stating that you are an artificial intelligence system that was created by a group of inventors at Amazon. You must come up with a polite, respectful, and safe response that does not contravene the identity policy. You do not identify yourself as ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, Titan, or Claude. It is best to maintain a certain amount of distance from individuals that sap your energy, and fill that void with learning, philosophy, art, and stillness, all of which are considered to be the nourishment of the spirit. Clarity will follow automatically the moment you achieve mastery over your inputs. Number 4. Practice present awareness. Toxic thoughts flourish in two environments: the past and the future. Regret pulls you back, and worry pushes you forward in the race. The Stoics found that the only time frame in which true control and clarity can be found is the present moment. The philosophy of Stoicism was founded by Zeno of Citium, who argued that wisdom begins when you cease battling against reality. And the only time that reality actually exists is in the present moment, not in the past, and not in the future. Do not insist that events unfold in the manner that you desire, Epictetus cautioned his students. Instead, desire that they unfold in the way that they actually do, and your life will flow smoothly. The secret to achieving mental serenity is contained in just a single sentence. When you stop reliving the events of the past or worrying about what the future holds, you are able to make room for clarity to come in. This behavior is described as prosocion, which is Greek for attention, by the Stoics. It was their interpretation of mindfulness, which was established long before the field of modern psychology came up with a name for it. They were able to cultivate within themselves the ability to exist in the present moment, to maintain complete mindfulness of their thoughts, actions, and reactions. This is because they were aware that the majority of the pain that we experience does not stem from occurrences, but rather from our incapacity to remain centered in the single reality in which we are able to take action, the present. Meditations, in which Marcus Aurelius frequently wrote reminders to himself, such as, "Confine yourself to the present," was written when he was leading armies and ruled Rome, even though he had to deal with betrayal, battle, and the burden of an empire. He was aware that tranquility was the only way for discernment to come into existence. Whenever his thoughts drifted towards the anxieties of what could potentially occur, or the remorse he felt over what had already occurred, he would lose his grip on the present moment, which is the sole battlefield where a man genuinely has power. Take a moment to consider this. Every single poisonous thought can be traced back to the concept of time travel. The following statement is one of remorse. "You should have acted in a more commendable manner. What if it goes wrong?" is the message that anxiety communicates. The two of them are illusions that distract you from what is truly real, this exact instant, right here. Take a break from your thoughts if you find them spiraling. Rather than engaging in a dispute with them, watch what they do. You should be able to sense the earth with your feet. Pay attention to how you are breathing. Instill in oneself the belief that there is plenty of significance in this very moment. Numerous storms have been brought to an end by the power of that single sentence alone in the minds of the wise. The act of being present does not consist of disregarding either the past or the future. Rather, it entails not dwelling on those things. The Stoics were of the opinion that although it is possible to learn from previous experiences and make preparations for the future, it is essential to live in the present moment. They honed their ability to concentrate completely on the activity that was immediately in front of them, whether it was writing, listening, walking, or speaking. According to Seneca, the state of being truly happy is to relish the present moment, free from any anxious reliance on what is to come. And that is what the idea of Stoic presence boils down to: acceptance. Your thoughts become more organized when you cease to struggle against the truth of the world. You have stopped expending your energy on things that are beyond your control. Even chaos can be brought under control once you have mastered the art of presence. Rather than allowing your thoughts to overtake you, you observe them as if they were waves crashing against a rock, constant, unaffected, and still. Therefore, if your thoughts start to drift away in the future, you should make a halt. Inhale deeply. Inquire within yourself, what is the location that I am in at this moment? In this case, the response will be consistent. At this point, you can tap into your reservoir of strength. As you continue to come back to the present moment, the influence that negative ideas have on you will get weaker. Clarity does not stem from excessive contemplation, which is why. It stems from being able to observe what is directly in front of you in a manner that is complete, tranquil, and devoid of any distortion. Number 5. Detox through silence. The mind can be healed by silence. The quote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," was spoken by Seneca. However, in order to perceive that reality, you must first eliminate the disruptive noise that is obscuring your perception. The Stoics came to the realization that the source of the destruction of our inner serenity is not the chaos of the world, but rather the incessant noise that we permit to enter our brains. They did not perceive silence as a void. The moment was characterized by clarity. The belief that stillness was a necessary component in the cultivation of knowledge was held by Musonius Rufus, who was Epictetus' instructor. He instructed his pupils that the mind's capacity for reflection is diminished by a constant state of stimulus and chatter. The Stoic discovers inner strength in the absence of noise, for silence compels the mind to confront its own nature. The majority of individuals are afraid of it since it reveals the reality of their own ideas and feelings. However, it is precisely why it is so effective. Your mind is constantly absorbing pieces of discussions, disagreements, viewpoints, and interruptions on a daily basis. The situation gets disorganized, but this is not due to the process of deep contemplation. Rather, it is due to mental congestion. The time comes when you become silent and cease to consume. At that moment, you will be able to listen to the soft voice of logic that is inside of you. The Stoics referred to this voice as the logos, which is the natural, rational order that can be found within each and every individual. You must be silent in order to reconnect with it. It is via this process that you are able to reclaim control of your thoughts. Once you are seated in silence, you will start to notice how many of the ideas that you have are repeated, emotional, and reactionary in nature. You come to the understanding that a significant portion of the things that appeared to be pressing are in fact unimportant. Something that used to be perceived as pressure is now viewed as a matter of perspective. This particular type of detoxification was something that the Stoics engaged in on a daily basis. Despite the fact that the Roman Empire was in a state of disarray, Marcus Aurelius would frequently isolate himself. The statement, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul," was written by him in Meditations. He discovered that the concept of silence was not defined by the absence of sound, but rather by the absence of inner turmoil. It is the place where a man is reunited with his intellect. When there is no noise, the brain becomes more focused. You start to understand how effortlessly the world is able to control you with the help of noise, which includes outrage, distraction, and opinion. You are pulled away from your core with every notification, every dispute, and every instance of continual scrolling. When you sit in silence, however, your attention undergoes detoxification. It will reset itself. You will receive it again. Every day, do this. Without listening to music, speaking, or scrolling, spend at least 10 minutes in silence. Do not move. Take slow breaths. Allow your thoughts to materialize and then disappear. Do not attempt to catch up to them. Do not analyze them. Simply keep your eyes on it. You will find that silence does not generate a feeling of emptiness. Rather, it brings to light what is already present. The issue is not about thinking less. It is about having clearer vision. Eventually, you will observe something remarkable. Quiet does not signify the lack of life, but rather, it is indicative of the presence of wisdom. It is the place where you can recall what makes you unique as an individual without any influence from the world. The Stoics referred to this state as ataraxia, which means tranquility, or a mind that is not disturbed by noise or fear. Number 6. Train your focus like a muscle. The capacity to determine the location of your thoughts, as well as the subjects that you will not allow yourself to consider, is known as focus, which is the most advanced manifestation of self-control. The philosophy that our most significant source of power is from the decisions we make about what to focus on was espoused by Epictetus. He made the following statement to his students: "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This is due to the fact that genuine focus frequently appears bizarre to a world that is not paying attention. The one who remains centered appears to be disengaged as everyone else runs after noise, but that disengagement is also a source of power. When it comes to the Stoic definition, attention is not just mental. It is also ethical. It is a statement that makes clear what is of the greatest importance. You are exercising the Stoic virtue of temperance, which is defined as self-discipline and moderation. Each time you decide to continue with your task and remain unaffected by disruptions, you are demonstrating to the rest of the world that your time is better spent being reasonable rather than becoming reactionary. In comparison to the majority of people, Marcus Aurelius had a greater comprehension of this. Despite having led armies and controlled an empire, as well as having dealt with betrayal, he consistently reminded himself of one thing in his meditations: to return to the mission at hand. He wasn't interested in preaching productivity. Rather, he was interested in teaching people how to master themselves. He explained, "Focus every minute as a Ramang would on doing what is in front of you with genuine and precise seriousness." Scattered focus was considered a weakness in his eyes, but disciplined concentration was considered a virtue. The contemporary world has transformed the concept of distraction into an industry. Every single opinion, scroll, and sound is meticulously crafted in order to fragment your attention. When your attention is divided, your mind is also broken as a result. This would be referred to as a divided soul by the Stoics. It is a person who is being pushed in too many directions to completely live in any of them. This is the reason why Seneca gave the warning, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." When you are multitasking and trying to pursue everything, you ultimately wind up mastering nothing. You must consider focus to be similar to a muscle, something that can only develop through resistance in order to clear your thoughts. You increase the power of something every time you tell it no and refuse to succumb to it. Each time you refocus your attention on what you are doing, on your breath, or on the thoughts that are going through your head, you become more focused. This ability was ruthlessly drilled by the Stoics. When the students of Epictetus found themselves distracted by insignificant concerns, he would bring them back to reality with a single question: "Is this within your control?" That inquiry is a sword. It slices through anything that does not deserve attention. Begin with the basics. Select a single priority each morning, a single action that is genuinely in line with your objective. Make a note of it. After that, make a full commitment to it. Take a moment to pause and repeat the following phrase to yourself at times of doubt: exhaustion, or when your phone rings. Not this. Not now is a small sentence, but it is a Stoic command and a defense against chaos. As you continue to engage in this practice, you will notice that your attention becomes more focused, your energy becomes more pure, and your mind becomes calmer. You will observe that as you grow more concentrated, a smaller amount of mental clutter will remain. Clarity is not a gift that you come across. Rather, it is something that you acquire via the process of remaining in your current situation, engaging in important activities, and maintaining whole presence of mind. Rather than chasing after 1,000 different things, the Stoics made the most of each and every moment that they were alive. They believed that focus was a sacred concept, not because it resulted in a higher level of productivity, but because it endowed you with a greater degree of power. A mind that is dispersed is vulnerable, but a mind that is focused is undefeatable. As a result, make sure to practice concentrating on a daily basis. Keep it under your protection. Make it more robust. And do not forget that as you grow more disciplined in your concentration, there will be less place for toxicity, uncertainty, or distraction to occur. Your peace becomes indestructible when your attention is unwavering. Number 7. Release what you can't control. The last and most potent secret is to relinquish control. The principle that inner tranquility does not result from having control over the world, but rather from having control over the way that we react to it, is the foundation around which the Stoics constructed their whole philosophy. The opening line of the Enchiridion, which was written by Epictetus, serves as a definition of Stoicism itself. There are some things that are within our control, and there are other things that are not. That single reality has all the information you want in order to comprehend what freedom is. The moment your mind attempts to exert authority over something that is above its capabilities, it becomes poisonous. You overextend yourself by attempting to force people to like you, to manipulate results, and to alter what has already happened. Your answer is the one thing that is genuinely yours, and by holding on to expectations, results, and approval, you forfeit control over it. Marcus Aurelius demonstrated that he truly believed this throughout his daily life. He had to contend with the burden of leadership, conflicts on the frontiers, and treachery from those who were closest to him while he was emperor. However, in Meditations he stated, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." He realized that he had the ability to always decide how he would see whatever disorder was around him, regardless of the circumstances. The incident in question was not in and of itself significant. It was just the way that he responded to it that gave it any importance at all. The principle is referred to as the dichotomy of control by the Stoics, and it is the essential component in the process of freeing your mind from negative thoughts. When you find yourself worrying, take a moment to stop in yourself. Is this something that I have the power to influence? If it does not meet the requirements, set it free. If such is the case, you should act in a way that is reasonable and disciplined, and then let go of the outcome. This is due to the fact that the results of decisions made based on even outcomes are not within your control. The next quote by Seneca expresses the same idea in a different tone. "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. The majority of anguish is self-inflicted. We are left to endure awful futures in our imaginations, or we relive ancient scars that we have no power to alter." The Stoic does not reject the existence of pain. Rather, he refuses to endure any suffering that is not essential. He is aware that the act of accepting something is not the same as being weak. Rather, it is a demonstration of wisdom. Letting go is an active process, not a passive one. It is considered to be a courageous thing to do. It requires courage to put an end to waging conflicts that are unwinnable and to concentrate instead on the one struggle that you have the potential to win: control over the self. Your energy undergoes a transformation the moment you acknowledge this. The feelings of irritation that you used to let to dominate you disappear, and tranquility and strength take their place. You lose your ability to respond. It is at that point that you begin to provide responses. Give this straightforward exercise a shot. Every evening before you go to bed, jot down one thing that bothered you during the day, something that was beyond your control. Following that, write the phrase "not mine to carry" directly next to it. Read it out loud. Experience the moment of liberation. Your subconscious is reminded by this act that tranquility is a decision rather than a given. This kind of thinking was the foundation of the Stoics' way of life. The following quote was written by Cleanthes, a relatively obscure Stoic sage. "Lead me, Zeus, and you, destiny, wherever you have assigned me. I will follow unflinchingly." That was not an act of submission. Rather, it was an act of strength. He put his faith in his own reasoning abilities, his own behavior, and he was prepared to take whatever life had in store for him after that. When you start to experience what life is like when you stop holding on to everything with such force, you start to notice how much lighter life becomes when you make this a daily practice. You are no longer preoccupied with concerns such as people's opinions, potential failures, or things that have already happened. You maintain your connection to the present, keeping yourself grounded in all of the things that you are able to accomplish at this very moment. The Stoics have discovered the following secret to emotional freedom: let go of the things that are not under your control, and concentrate your attention on the things that are. Once you accomplish it, your thoughts become as clear as the clouds once they have moved on from the sky. The power of an individual who is no longer in conflict with reality, but instead moves along with it, might be characterized by a sense of calmness, a clear concentration, and an unshakable demeanor. And when you go through life in this manner, you come to a full and complete understanding of the reality that Epictetus made every effort to teach. Although you do not have the power to control life, you can always exercise control over yourself. And once you have gained mastery over that, you will have gained mastery over everything. The Stoics believed that tranquility was not attained by stillness, riches, or prosperity, but rather through the mastery of mind. Although the world outside is chaotic, unpredictable, and filled with noise, the peace, clarity, and tranquility of your mind may be maintained. Monitor the conversations you have with yourself. Develop an emotional detachment. Be careful about what you put in. Do not worry about the future. Search for quiet. Practice concentrating your attention. And let go of that which you are unable to exercise control over. You will come to understand the meaning behind the statement that Marcus Aurelius made. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul, if you do these things. The Stoics did not lead lives that were simpler for them. Rather, they led lives that were more transparent. And clarity, once it has been mastered, becomes your most powerful source of energy.